You spend 3 hours writing what you think is a brilliant blog post. You obsess over every heading, every image, you finally hit publish. And then, a week later, you Google your keyword and your article is buried somewhere on page 7, behind a Quora thread from 2013. Meanwhile, everyone on Twitter is saying, just use AI, it's easy. So you open ChatGPT, paste in a prompt, get a generic wall of text, and then still have to do the SEO, the links, the images, the formatting, the uploading. It's like you've added another job on top of the one you already have. This is exactly the problem that a tool called Arvow says it can fix. It promises to generate and optimize SEO content, add images and links, even auto-publish to your site. Basically doing the boring SEO grunt work for you. If you want to check it out while we go through it, the link is in the description. All right, let's talk about why this is interesting. So if you're a marketer, you run an agency, or you've got a SaaS product, you probably know this pain already. You need consistent content. Not just one heroic blog post once a month, but multiple SEO articles, product updates, how-to guides, maybe news pieces, every single week. You have to research keywords, figure out what Google actually wants, write the article, optimize headings, meta descriptions, internal links, external links, find images, embed videos, format everything so it doesn't look like a wall of text. Then paste it into WordPress or Shopify or Squarespace and hope for the best. Most of us try to hack this with a mix of tools. A keyword tool here, ChatGPT over there, then copying and pasting into a Google Doc, then into WordPress, then manually adding links and images like it's 2009. And now there's a second problem. It's not just about ranking on Google anymore. People are literally asking ChatGPT, what's the best CRM for startups? Or how do I do SEO for my Shopify store? If your content isn't well structured, up to date, and actually useful, you're invisible there too. So you end up in this weird place where you either spend hours suffering through SEO tasks you hate, or you pay for an expensive AI writer like Jasper or Copy, AI every month, and still have to wrangle the formatting and publishing yourself. That's where Arvow came in for me. I stumbled on Arvow on AppSumo one evening, when I was deep in a procrastination spiral instead of actually writing. It pitched itself as an AI-powered SEO writer and content optimizer that could help you rank on Google and even in ChatGPT results. The claim that hooked me was basically, generate SEO articles with internal and external links, images, and even YouTube videos, and auto-publish them to your site in a few clicks. Honestly, that sounded ridiculous. I've tried enough AI tools to know that most of them either overpromise or give you the same bland, generic output. But Arvow said it could. Turn YouTube videos into full SEO blog posts. Generate content in 150+ languages. Pull in current information from the web. Let you customize tone, voice, perspective, and even save your own templates. Alternative to Copied AI and Jasper, but with SEO and publishing baked in. So I thought, all right, let's see if this thing can actually replace my ugly ChatGPT plus Google Docs plus WordPress plus Coffee plus Tears workflow. Let me walk you through how I'd actually use Arvow in a realistic day. Imagine I've just recorded a YouTube video about email marketing for SaaS founders. Normally, that video would live on YouTube, and maybe, if I'm feeling energetic, I'd get someone to turn it into a blog post. With Arvow, I log in, go to their content generator, and paste in the YouTube link. I tell it, turn this into an SEO blog post targeting email marketing for SaaS startups. Then I pick a few settings. Tone, friendly but professional. Voice, first-person plural, like a brand blog. Perspective, expert guide. Length, long-form article. I can also add my own custom prompt, something like, emphasize practical steps, keep paragraphs short, add a clear call to action at the end for booking a demo. I hit generate. In a minute or two, Arvow spits out a full article. Not just text. We're talking headings, subheadings, bullet points, maybe even a table if it makes sense. It's already added internal link placeholders to relevant pages on my site and external links to credible sources. It suggests images. It can embed the original YouTube video directly in the article. So you've got that nice multimedia blog feel, without spending half an hour hunting for stock photos. Now, the cool part is the AI editor. When I see a paragraph that's a bit meh, I just highlight it. From there, I can say, rewrite, expand, or simplify. If I realize I forgot to mention a specific feature of my SaaS, I can highlight a section and say, add a sentence about X feature with this keyword. Or I can chat with the AI assistant in the sidebar and say, can you make this intro more story-driven? And it updates the text right in the editor. So instead of starting from a blank page, I'm basically acting like an editor-in-chief. I guide, tweak, and fact-check. The heavy lifting, the structure, the SEO basics, the formatting is already done. Now imagine you're running an agency. You've got 10 clients, all wanting weekly content. You can use Arvow's bulk generation to create multiple articles at once. You feed it a list of topics or videos, pick your language, Spanish, German, French, whatever, and Arvow can generate localized content in 150+ languages. You can even connect it to the web, so if you're writing news articles or time-sensitive content, it pulls in current information instead of hallucinating last year's data. One of my favorite little no-way moments was realizing you can save your favorite article structures as templates. So if you've got a specific format that converts, like intro, story, problem, solution, CTA, you can just save that. Next time, choose your template, add your prompt, and boom, on-brand article in minutes. And because it integrates with WordPress, Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, and even Zapier, you can go a step further and auto-publish. So instead of copy-paste gymnastics, it just pushes the final article straight to your site. It feels slightly illegal how much of the boring stuff you can offload. Let's talk about why this deal specifically is interesting. Normally, tools in this space, Copy, AI Jasper, that kind of thing, will charge you every month. It's very normal to be paying $40, $80 a month for a decent AI writer, especially if you're creating a lot of content. Arvow on AppSumo right now starts at a one-time payment of $49 for lifetime access. No monthly subscription. That Tier 1 plan is normally $120, so you're getting about 59% off. With Tier 1, you get lifetime access plus 2,000 SEO writer credits, and you can generate up to 500,000 words per month. For a solo marketer or a small SaaS, that's a lot of runway. If you're running an agency or you've got multiple brands, there are higher tiers. Tier 2 is $119 instead of $300 with 5,000 credits. Tier 3 is $219 instead of $600 with 10,000 credits. Tier 4 is $409 instead of $200 with 20,000 credits. The percentage discount is roughly the same, around 59% off. But the credit pool scales up, so you're set up for way more content. And if you ever outgrow that, you can buy extra SEO writer credits as a one-time add-on at $39 per $1,000 units, up to 10,000. So you're still not locked into some scary recurring subscription. To put that in perspective, $49 is less than what you'd pay for 1 month of Jasper on some of their plans. Here, that same money potentially covers you for years of SEO content if you're smart about it. In terms of social proof, on AppSumo right now, Arvow has an early rating of 4.5 out of 5 from the first users. It's clearly still young, founded in 2023, small bootstrapped team out of Singapore, but the people who've tried it seem pretty happy so far. And because it's an AppSumo Select deal, you also get that nice safety net. You can use it for up to 60 days, really test it with your own site, your own content, your own clients. And if it doesn't click for you, you just refund it. No awkward emails, no drama. So from a pure numbers and sanity perspective, if you're already paying for an AI writer, or you know you should be creating more SEO content, this is actually a pretty easy experiment to justify. Now, let me be honest about who this is actually good for, and who probably shouldn't bother. If you're a marketer, a marketing agency, or a SaaS founder who needs to produce a lot of educational or SEO content, Arvow fits really nicely. Especially if your site runs on WordPress, Shopify, Wix, or Squarespace, or you love automations with Zapier. If you've already got a YouTube strategy and you're not turning those videos into blog posts, this is kind of a no-brainer. Paste the link, generate the post, tweak, publish. You're suddenly everywhere, on YouTube, on Google, and more likely to show up when people ask AI tools for recommendations. Also, if you work with international audiences, the 150+ languages thing is huge. You can take one winning article and spin up localized versions without needing a separate writer for each language. You'll still want a native speaker to glance over it, but it cuts the workload dramatically. However, Arvow is not a magic press one button and never think again machine. You still need to review the content, fact check, especially when it's pulling from the web. Inject your own stories, data, and unique point of view. If you're a journalist, a literary writer, or you mostly create deeply original, research-heavy thought leadership, this kind of tool is probably more of an assistant than a replacement. You'll still be doing most of the intellectual heavy lifting yourself. And because it's a relatively new product, you should expect the occasional rough edge. The interface is clean, but not as glossy as some of the huge VC-backed tools. Features will evolve, things might change, and you're kind of betting on a promising but early-stage platform. For me, the simple question is, does this fit into my workflow and meaningfully save time without making my content worse? If the answer is yes, even by a few hours a week, then a $49 $109 lifetime deal is kind of hard to argue against. Most of us don't need more tools. We need a few good ones that quietly remove friction from the boring parts of our job. If you want to try Arvow for yourself, the link is in the description. Remember, you've got 60 days to play with it and get your money back if it doesn't earn a place in your stack. In the next video, I'm planning to pit Arvow against one of the big names, probably Jasper or Copy, AI, and actually compare the outputs side by side to see which one I'd trust to rank on Google. So if you're curious about that, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's review. And in the meantime, maybe take one piece of content you've been procrastinating on and see how fast you can get it live with a tool like this.